All right, so we'll give a shout out to James. James, you sent me this link, told me to take a look at this. All right, it's building Waukesha, um, a building in imminent collapse apparently by a structural engineer report. You can see right here, according to the city's Waukesha, an independent structural engineer report showed compromised conditions of existing structural columns. Doesn't quite say what, but I'll tell you what we see here. The guy is welding. Definitely welding on some steel here. That they had to have their decks removed for, I don't know why. We would love to find out why, and I'm going to work into that. But I'm going to theorize that they had a negative load on it. This is steel. So steel is, and it was cheaper than repairing. So they cut it. They cut it, and now they're trying to do some repairs. Now I'm looking at the connector here. It looks like a single bolted connector. It looks like it from here. It could be welded. These are, you guys call them I-beams, H-beam right here. And then this looks like it appears the deck was in here. One of the decks that they had removed. I think they paid 14 or 16 grand per deck to get it removed, the unit owners. And they were told to exit. Alright, so let's talk about what they're doing here. Good quality tape. That's the better tape. They had poly over it to protect it. So craftsmanship so far so good. They're using, a Miller welder to get it up in the lift there. They're two lifts operating. Is that two lifts? Yeah, two lifts operating. So, they got some professionalism there now. Now let's get into the article. The moment we became aware of these issues this evening, we put an evacuation plan into action. The city wrote on its Facebook page, which I don't have Facebook, so I can't get it to you unless it's public. The building consists of 48 units, and all families are currently being evacuated by police and fire personnel who are going door to door. The city is working, blah, blah, blah. So, they're not very clear about what is going on. Let's see, December 3rd, 25. One guy said he just had the last balcony removed, and all of a sudden, I guess the engineer came out and decided, you know what, he's not going to be sued like these other guys down in Florida. He said, I guess he's going to default to the highest level of that he can and give a recommendation that it should be evacuated, which I agree with, evacuated while the repairs are going on. Think about this. He's not sure of it, so default is, or maybe he is sure of it, default is, let's just evacuate it while we work on it. Any problems is a vacant building, no one dies like that besides construction workers. Now think of the Millennium Tower in San Francisco. Those clowns, the people who are living inside there, no offense to the clowns that are living there, but you got all that money and you can't go rent somewhere else while they're doing this. If it takes a year, go rent a place for a year. Don't stay in that building for a year while they're working on it. That building could topple over, no sweat. They don't know what's going on there. It has not found equilibrium, and every time they keep drilling, it seems like it's still trying to find equilibrium. Okay, so that's the building structure there. So what we can take note is it's metal and glass. We don't see any fractured glass. We don't see anything out of square. It seems like, it's some connectors that maybe they weren't welded or bolted correctly, and the engineer. This is my guess, and I'm guessing it's deck related, because after decks are gone, I mean, he didn't just open up all these other units and just do this evaluation. So my theory is upon inspection after the decks are removed, he's, oh no, I don't like this. I don't like the way this is set up at all. And perhaps as simple as there's no tie-in from here to here. They said column, and now I guess here. Maybe the column doesn't tie back over to the rest of the structure. I mean, this is what he can see, and if this is open, maybe you can see down into it and see how it connects back there. But I don't imagine that any ceilings or floors were taken apart. These all look like regular. See how you were looking to the units? They all look like regular living spaces, not taped up or protected. They look like, well, listen, yep, they look like regular current living spaces. All right. Okay, so we can get a better image shot here. That's the protection. They can open this, slide this window, and no one can come out, fall out. Again, we're looking at the metal. We don't see any deflection, crinkling, oil canning. The light fixtures, no cracking around the receptacles or outlets, however you like to look at them. I know there's a correct term. I often get it backwards myself. All right, no cracked glass. All right, up here, so column related. So again, I'm guessing that, but that was so risky when they're okay, here we go. So I know a couple of buildings burned down when they're welding and doing some welding out here on the steel. The heat conducts inside, catches the wood flooring on fire, and poof. In this case, it looks like concrete flooring. I mean, I'm looking at concrete here. Could be just a balcony, but there's an H-beam. There's this step down, and maybe the engineer was able to see through there and then decide that, you know what, these connectors are not moment connectors. They're not locking in the structures when I'm driving at. And it's not continuous down to the foundation, perhaps. Maybe they, I don't know. Now, I can't imagine they mixed wood with this. It seems like it appears or presents looks like a steel structure in which we can, concrete and steel structure. And we're talking about connectors at that point. Let's see. So the balconies are gone. There's a guy grinding. We saw a close-up of that a moment ago. And here, I wish we could see through here. I wish we could see through it. They're going to be similar, so if we can get hold of one, we might be able to extrapolate the rest. Oh. Is that some temporary bracing going across there? Oh. Yeah. Okay. So, I think we found our deal. Once I remove the, I'm just theorizing here. Once they removed the deck, they lost this column here, lost its rigidity. And so the slenderness factor is too tall. Instead of removing the deck, brace, remove a deck, brace, it appears they remove decks, and then they're going back and bracing last. And it seems like that's going to be a very simple, and there's the load path I was talking about. It's lateral. Okay, so it's lateral. And he's worried about that. I think that's going to be a solid hit. I kind of like that theory on that one. I'm going to end the video, and then I'm going to look for the. You guys can help me too. Give me links to the original building of this, if you guys can see how the steel is set up. But I think that's what it is there. I think it's simple as that. Oops. Oh, that's twice. All right. I think it's as simple as the bracing there is the indicator of what's going on. Take care. Love you all. Thanks, James.